My boyfriend of 10 years, Henry, and I were about to get married, but his idealized first love, Luna, had cancer and wanted to wear a wedding dress for him before she died. He gave her the wedding dress I had chosen, and placed the necklace my mother left me around her neck. The wedding that was meant to be ours, he generously let her take center stage. On the day of the wedding, I sat in the Hayes estate, where the main gate was heavily locked, my heart utterly desolate. She's dying soon. Just indulge her this time. I know you're the most sensible one, and that's why I'm willing to marry you. After this is over, I'll make it up to you with another wedding. Listening to his footsteps fade away, I opened my phone and dialed a number. It's time. I should go back. There's no time. This is the wedding dress Olivia picked out. Luna, you'll wear this tomorrow. As I went downstairs, I saw Henry, tears welling in the corners of his eyes, tenderly pull Luna into his embrace. I'm sorry. Tomorrow, I'll give you a wedding. My mind buzzed, incredulity and rage spreading through me, accompanied by a cold sweat. Henry, the reason I want to look beautiful is so that after I die, you'll remember me at my prettiest. Luna gazed at Henry, her face awash with tears, the droplets glistening in her eyes. For a moment, I felt that light turning towards me. All these jewels are from Olivia's room. Pick whatever you like, and they're yours. She gasped in surprise, covering her mouth. Really? But we'll be angry. I can't do that. It's fine. She has plenty of jewelry, she won't miss these 2 pieces. Besides, I bought them for her, and she has no right to object to me giving them to whoever I want. I had never felt him so cold. Like an abandoned cub, I felt desperate, helpless, and couldn't even believe what was happening. And to my shock, she had chosen the sapphire necklace, the only keepsake my mother left me, and Henry was putting it on her. I rushed frantically to her, my eyes filled with indignation and resentment. I snatched the necklace from her, my anger erupting into a shout. How dare you take my things? She stumbled back 2 steps, tears falling from her eyes as she burst into tears and collapsed into Henry's arms. I am so sorry. It's my fault. I shouldn't have coveted your things. Those words ignited his fury, and the next instant, his palm struck my cheek. Ignoring my fall, he forcefully snatched the necklace from my hand. It's just a necklace. Is it worth you being so petty and narrow-minded to fight over it? She can take everything else, but not this necklace. It's the last thing my mother left me. Before he could speak, Luna's choked voice cut in. I'm so sorry. It's just so beautiful. I only wanted to wear something I loved for my final farewell. Henry looked at me, his eyes now showing impatience in addition to disgust. This necklace isn't of high quality, it's only worth a few tens of thousands. Be generous and let Luna borrow it for a few days. I'll buy you several identical ones later. I let out a cold laugh, my eyes red from tears. Standing up, I didn't hesitate to raise my right hand and slap Henry hard across the face. Slap. A sharp sound echoed through the living room. For a moment, the silence was so profound you could hear a pin drop. He was stunned, staring blankly at my first act of defiance towards him. I didn't want to think about what he was feeling at that moment. I snatched the necklace away. Turning to leave, my arm ached as a hand forcefully pulled me back. The necklace fell into his hand. Give it back to me. Olivia, do you have any idea who gave you everything you have now? Without me, you'd still be living in that dilapidated house. Yes, Olivia, how could you? Henry didn't disdain your humble background and is still willing to marry you. Men with such integrity are rare. How can you treat him like this? She gazed at Henry with tenderness. If fate hadn't played such a cruel joke and had given me ample time, I would have cherished him deeply, unlike now, only daring to express my feelings before I die. Hearing this, the anger in his eyes intensified as he looked at me. Look at her, then look at you. I let out a sarcastic laugh. If you like her so much, then marry her. He completely erupted. I've indulged you too much, letting you dare to talk back to me. Fine, just watch. This is the consequence of defying me. He took my sapphire necklace and smashed it to the ground. Smash. A crisp sound rang out as the gem shattered in 2. A pair of black leather shoes crushed it, grinding it fiercely. No, don't. I knelt, reaching out for it, and my palm was also crushed, a trace of fresh blood oozing out. Picking up the shattered gem, it felt like my own broken heart. Holding the gem, my hands covered in blood, my tears felt thicker than the blood. I laughed grimly, slowly approaching him. I grabbed his right hand, the one that had smashed my gem, and took the shattered pieces, dragging them across his palm. Ah! Watching him kneel in pain, I felt no pity. I turned and went upstairs, locking the door. Perhaps his injury wasn't serious, as after knocking a few times, the servants stopped coming. I clutched the gem, tears soaking the pillowcase. The wedding that should have been mine had become Luna's. And I had been completely locked in the bedroom by Henry since morning. He must have felt he had gone too far yesterday, as his voice was somewhat softened. I'll buy you a few new necklaces. Don't be angry anymore. Seeing me ignore him, he spoke again through the door. She's dying soon. Just indulge her this time. I know you're the most sensible one, and that's why I'm willing to marry you. After this is over, I'll make it up to you with another wedding. I sat coldly on the bed, my voice icy. Go ahead. He mistook my coldness for softness, and his tone became much gentler. I knew you were obedient and kind. You'll definitely become a good wife and mother for the Hayes estate. Don't worry, my promise to you will always stand. I forced a sarcastic smile. Stand? Too bad, my promise wouldn't stand anymore. Listening to his footsteps fade away, I opened my phone and dialed a number. It's time. I should go back. You finally made up your mind. Do you have any idea how long we've been waiting for you to say that? My nose stung, and tears welled in my eyes. I'm sorry for making you worry. What are you talking about? Say that again, and we'll really be angry. I hung up the phone and waited, then incidentally noticed a popping up news report. Henry married, but the bride Olivia. I clicked on it, and several wedding photos were displayed. In the photos, Henry was holding Luna's arm, beaming. They raised their wine glasses, exchanging pleasantries with the guests. Luna had an ethereal charm, her lips gently curved into a serene and tranquil smile. Her complexion was rosy and radiant, looking nothing like a patient. Netizens went wild. Why the last-minute bride swap? I didn't hear they broke up. I suspect he got bored. The lives of the rich aren't something we can fathom. I bet Olivia cheated. Otherwise, why would Mr. Henry suddenly change brides? There were all sorts of guesses, but unfortunately, no one hit the mark. Instead, the comments about him getting bored and me cheating received many likes. Nobody really cared, everyone just wanted some gossip and a laugh. Time passed, and the wedding ended. As for me, I never saw any videos or news reports of Henry clarifying anything. I smiled sardonically, finally understanding. He wouldn't waste a single word on my behalf. I heard the sound of the door unlocking, pushed it open, and stepped out. Two servants stood nearby, their expressions respectful. Mr. Henry and Ms. Luna have returned and would like to invite you to dinner. I glanced at my phone. There was still an hour until the agreed-upon time. Let this be our final goodbye. Olivia. Thank you for today. You fulfilled my last wish. Luna's smile was sweet, her eyes filled with what seemed like genuine gratitude. She gently used a serving spoon to put food on my plate, then personally came before me and filled a wine glass with wine. This glass of wine is both my gratitude and my apology to you. I hope you won't be angry. Seeing my expression unchanged, without saying a word, a flash of coldness flickered in her gentle eyes. Then, with a soft thud, she knelt to the ground. Luna, what are you doing? Henry immediately stood up and walked towards her. I'm sorry. I know you must hate me terribly, but I truly just wanted to leave no regrets in this short life. Tears streamed down her face as she knelt and bowed her head to me. Luna, you don't owe her anything. Why are you kneeling to her? Get up. Henry tried to pull her up, but she wouldn't budge, so he turned his angry gaze towards me. Olivia, that's enough. It's just a wedding, isn't it? Who are you putting on this act for? I told you I'd arrange another one for you. Can you stop being so unreasonable? I calmly took a sip of water, showing no emotion. I had already seen through Luna's intentions. She was here with the goal of breaking Henry and me apart. If that's the case, then she owes me. And if she owes, she should pay. Her bowing her head to me, I could accept it. Henry, don't be angry. I owe her this. Even if I were to bow myself to death right here, I'd deserve it. She cried more and more piteously, making herself look vulnerable and appealing. She successfully ignited Henry's rage to its peak, and he desperately pulled her up. I truly misjudged you. I thought you were a well-mannered and understanding woman, but I never expected you to be so petty and narrow-minded when facing a problem. I order you to kneel and apologize to Luna. If she forgives you, then I'll forgive you. Listening to his constant mockery, I stood up and met his gaze. My calm voice was like a breeze, SCA. Tearing the raging flames of his anger. The way you are right now reminds me of 10 years ago. He froze in shock, momentarily forgetting his anger. He slowly began to recall the past. Do you remember how clever and brave you were back then? Even though you were penniless, you were the most sincere and kind person in my eyes. His clenched fists slowly relaxed, and tears seemed to glimmer in his eyes. You would speak out righteously against merchants who cheated on weight, and you'd be so angry about a video that you couldn't eat for an entire day. I also remember the first time you got so furious with me. It was because I drank an entire bottle of hard liquor, disregarding my own health, just to secure a big deal from a client. Slowly, his eyes became completely red. Luna stood beside him, looking as if she were facing a formidable enemy. She was about to speak when I interrupted her. But now, you become the person you wanted to be, yet your eyes no longer hold the same light they once did. Perhaps I didn't care enough for you, watching you seek solace from Luna. He suddenly looked up, tears soaking his eyes, his expression panicked. No, that's not it. So today, I owe you both, and I deserve all of this. No. He shook his head, tears streaming down his face. It's all my fault. I owe you. I shouldn't have let Luna take your place at the wedding. I'm sorry. I curled my lip in a sarcastic smile. Though my voice was laced with regret, I managed to keep my eyes from welling up. So, he knew, and he could distinguish right from wrong. But precisely in front of her, he had lost his impartiality towards me. An apology should come with compensation, shouldn't it? Tell me what you want, and I'll give it to you. Luna panicked, wanting to interject, but I didn't give her a chance. I heard a honk outside the door and slowly walked towards Henry. My warm hand gently caressed his cheek, wiping away the tears from his eyes. He was still lost in my tenderness, completely unaware of my subtly raised hand. Olivia. Slap. A deafening sound echoed through the room. Under their two stunned gazes, I disdainfully flicked my wrist. After he recovered, he screamed, Olivia. I immediately adopted a gentle expression. You said you would compensate me. He was speechless, frozen in place. He seemed to have forgotten the pain. Slap. Another slap landed hard on Luna's face. Instantly, she fell to the ground. Her face grew red and swollen, tears and nosebleeds streaming out. She helplessly cast a pleading look at Henry. But he remained rooted to the spot, dazed and oblivious. Slap. I slapped his other cheek, making it symmetrical. He was astonished and shocked. Before he could react, I seized the initiative and spoke. Henry, remember, you wronged me. All the grievances and debts, these two slaps cancel them out. Our engagement is hereby annulled. Although wasn't there to accompany your growth and doesn't know the hardships of starting a business, I believe that in the days to come, she'll have plenty of time to get to know you and spend the rest of her beautiful life with you. With that, I turned and left. He stood dumbfounded for a moment, then chased after me, calling my name repeatedly. As for me, I got into a Rolls-Royce and drove away. After all these years, do you regret it? The driver, with his refined features and ethereal demeanor. His face was like that of an immortal sent to experience mortal trials. Regret? I murmured the word, unconsciously recalling the past. Henry and I met when we were at our lowest. Back then, he was sweating profusely, his lips cracked. Holding the cheapest bottle of mineral water, he awkwardly rummaged through his wallet at a convenience store, unable to find a single dollar. I was also very strapped for cash back then, but I ended up paying for him. That was the beginning of our acquaintance. I had seen him at his most humble, and he had seen my impoverished and shabby home. Oh. Our meeting was like finding a small boat amidst a storm. We became each other's harbor of salvation. We supported each other all the way, never abandoning one another due to temptation. But now, after he achieved success, everything changed. The older generation was right. Once people acquire wealth, it's hard for them to stay true to themselves. He was one of them, and certainly not the last. A mocking curve lifted my lips. I always knew he had an idealized first love in his heart. Back then, he said he wasn't worthy of the moon in the sky, that he didn't want his humble self to tarnish its brilliant purity. Now it seems, only someone like me, covered in mud, was fit to walk that thorny path with him, then willingly offer him the fruits of success, only for him to bind that pure white moon. I just regret not seeing through human nature sooner. I could have lived a dignified and beautiful life with my own hands, but instead, I willingly became his assistant, wasting so many years. After I finished speaking, the man's expression froze for a moment. Soon after, his smile cleared like a dissipating mist, utterly transparent and refreshing. I'm genuinely happy that you've come to this realization. His tender, warm tone spread through the air, just like his presence. Don't be afraid. From now on, the Jiang family and I will always be your safe harbor. Tears finally streamed uncontrollably down my cheeks. Fortunately, I still had the Jiang family. The car came to a steady stop in front of an estate gate. From outside, several villas were nestled within. At the entrance, several security guards stood. In the middle were three people, elegantly dressed, with kind faces. Although I had only met them a few times, our hearts were forever connected. Seeing us alight from the car, the security guards respectfully bowed to us. Mr. Ethan, welcome. The three people came towards us, and Eleanor, the dignified lady in the middle, excitedly extended her hand to me. Why, daughter, you've finally come home. In a daze, I felt as if I saw my adoptive mother. Her face merged with hers. Thinking of how she had thought of me even on her deathbed, exchanging her life savings for that sapphire as my dowry. Unconsciously, my eyes turned red. My adoptive mother's passing was an incredibly heavy blow to me. Because of this, I desperately wanted to find someone to rely on, to fill the void of the love I had completely lost. And it was then that Henry proposed to me. He knelt on one knee, his eyes burning with sincerity. Olivia, I want to be your support, the most steadfast harbor in your future life. I accepted. It was then that the Jiang family found me, presenting an heirloom pendant I had accidentally lost. After a DNA test, I learned that I was the long-lost daughter of the Jiang family, the richest family in a major city. At that moment, I felt happiness engulf me once again. Mom held my hand and said, "Our daughter is back. It's time to publicly reveal her identity." But I shook my head. Mom and Dad, my identity isn't important. What matters is that our family is always together. At that time, with the wedding imminent, I didn't want everyone to worry too much about my affairs, so I chose not to reveal my identity publicly. And I chose to live at Henry's home. This was both the worst and the best decision I ever made. After achieved success, he came to disdain my humble background. His words implied I wasn't worthy of him, and that it was his kindness that led him to marry me. His tone was always condescending, completely lacking the equality and respect that should exist between spouses. But thankfully, I saw his true face. My dear daughter, you've suffered. It's good that you left. It's better than staying and suffering at the Hayes estate. If you need anything, tell Robert. Sister, ever since you came back to the Hayes estate, Mom and Dad have been in tears, thinking our home wasn't welcoming enough for you to stay. Mom Andy, Dad, I'm sorry for making you worry. From now on, I'll always be by your side and take good care of you. Good. It's good that you've come to terms with it. Don't let yourself fall apart over a man. I wiped away the tears from my eyes and nodded. I finally understand that human hearts are fickle. Only family love is unbreakable. Mom and Dad, I won't make such foolish mistakes again. Good. Mom held my hand and led me all the way home. It's time to introduce Ethan. I looked at the man who had driven me home. At that moment, his expression was a little nervous, faintly hiding anticipation as he looked at me. After our eyes met, his handsome face flushed slightly, and he hurriedly averted his gaze. I was surprised, seeing such a flustered yet adorable hamster-like expression on someone's face. My mother also took his hand. Do you remember him? I paused, searching my memories. He and I had only met once, during the family reunion. When you were little, you used to constantly pester him to play together. Huh? I looked at him incredulously. He seemed a bit bashful, like a young man about to be married off. Yet just moments ago in the car, he had been so serious and composed. Ethan, his face red, finally spoke. Back then, you insisted on playing house with me. Our pet dog was the baby, I was the dad, and you were the mom. As he spoke, the blush climbed all the way to his earlobes. In an instant, scenes from the past flashed before my eyes. I caught a familiar scent, and a cute, soft, tender face appeared before me. He was the heir to the Gu family, the richest family in another major city. Back then, our two families met to discuss a collaboration, and we ended up playing together. I remembered how I always loved to pinch his chubby cheeks, and brazenly demanded he carry me, saying, husbands should carry their wives. Every time, he would dotingly pick me up. Hold on tight, wife, your husband is taking you around the world, th. And when we have babies later, we'll take them around the world too. Okay. Then when we grow up, let's have lots of babies. A terrifying flood of information rushed into my mind. I stood dumbfounded, like a sloth, my entire face flushed beet red. My mother chuckled, teasing me. Seeing how loving you two were as children, we asked if you wanted to marry him when you grew up. You said yes, so your dad and I arranged a childhood engagement with the Gu family for you. I was startled. So, he's my fiancé? All four nodded. Little sister, you don't know, Ethan nearly went mad when you went missing. He's been searching for over 20 years. James, my brother, spoke from the side. We didn't want to hold him back, so we mentioned dissolving the engagement. But the kid refused like he was crazy, saying he vowed he was yours, in life and in death. Pfft. I chuckled, and slowly, a layer of tears filled my eyes. Ethan's face was even redder than mine. Now I'm yours too, but... He paused, fear hidden in his eyes. I don't know if you'll still want me. If you don't like me anymore, I'll just go home. He spoke hesitantly, every word a careful glance at my expression, terrified I might disappear from him again. I admit, sometimes I'm quite shallow. A handsome man with such a perfect face and physique, who could be fierce and tender? How could I not want him? It's time to go home. I responded with a smile, but he burst into tears. Wiping away tears, his lips trembled into a pout. It's time to go home and prepare for the wedding. I said this with a hint of defiance. I was angry that Henry had cast me aside like an old shoe, and I also wanted to prove that I was loved. But regardless of the emotions or thoughts, the current me truly wasn't against marrying him. He looked up in surprise, the teary gleam in his eyes reflecting the multicolored light of the chandelier. Huh? Unable to contain his excitement, he gripped my shoulders tightly. Really? Didn't miss here, did I? Of course it's true. Are you unwilling? Willing. I'm absolutely willing. Laughter filled the air, and time seemed to stand still in that beautiful moment. A month later, after finishing our checkup with Ethan, I was the first to walk out of the hospital. I happened to run into Luna. At that moment, her hand rested protectively on her lower abdomen. When she saw me, her gaze paused for a moment before she walked over. What are you doing here? Are you sick? She glanced at my medical report. I tucked away my medical report. I didn't expect Ms. Luna to care so much about me. You're not pregnant, are you? Her eyes were full of caution. I scoffed. Pregnant? Henry and I aren't even married. Didn't you two ever? Don't worry, Ms. Luna, my voice was calm and detached. He and I once agreed to save all our precious moments for after marriage. Before that, we wouldn't cross any lines. She let out a sigh of relief, and an arrogant expression reappeared on her face. Thank you for looking after Henry all this time. From now on, I'll be the one to accompany him. Seeing that I didn't want to engage with her, she flaunted her position again. Just a few days ago, Henry told me that I'm the only one he loves in his heart. As for you, he only feels guilt. If I hadn't come back so late, the position of Mrs. Hayes would definitely be mine. It would never have been your turn. I lowered my gaze in thought. Then, I slowly looked up, a hint of calm detachment flashing across my brows. My eyes, which should have been angry, now looked at her with benevolence. Then I wish you a long and lasting union, never to be separated. Seeing that I wasn't flustered or angry, Luna's expression became extremely unpleasant. Just pretend. You're just acting like you don't care, but deep down, you're already seething with jealousy and resentment. I smiled faintly, countering softly, that description sounds rather like you're describing yourself. You. Seeing in this state, I actually felt a flicker of curiosity. He mentioned you once. His heart was filled with you back then, and he even confessed his feelings, but you didn't accept him. Why are you by his side now? She frowned slightly as she looked at me, her eyes filled with disdain. Are you truly clueless or just pretending? Back then, he was just a penniless poor boy. What was his affection worth? How could I possibly give up my promising life and career for a man? I was momentarily stunned. But now it's different. He's rich, so it's only natural that I should reclaim the love that was originally mine. That's truly shameless. I may be shameless, but at least I'm better than a pitiful person like you, who got no money and couldn't even keep his heart. TSK, if I were you, I'd jump off a building. What's the point of living? I saw through the true intention hidden in her mockery and smiled calmly. I understand what you're thinking. As long as I'm dead, you'll have no one else to worry about, and your life will be happy and stable from then on. I stepped half a pace closer, staring into her guilty eyes. But why would I use my death to complete your perfect life? In the end, those who love me would be grief-stricken, while you would sit and take all the credit for the empire I helped him build. Luna stumbled back 2 steps, her eyes wide with disbelief. I'm too lazy to bother with you, but don't pull these petty tricks in front of me. Your childish ploys are only fit for amusing a fool like Henry. I will live well, and I will live happily. I will live to be an eyesore to you, to make you suffer torture and anxiety every single day. That, too, will be a life well lived. You. Her saying all this to me simply meant she wasn't confident of victory. As for me, I had already planted a thorn in Henry's heart before I left. As for when it would act up, that would depend on when her mask was torn off. No one in this world loves you, and you'll always be alone. So what? I scoffed. I'm not some single-celled organism that can only survive on love. Even if no one in the world loves me, there's one person who always will. She stared blankly at me. Henry? It's myself. I will always cherish myself. Billions of cells in my body are loving me, tirelessly working and striving for me, fighting to save me. What right do I have to abandon them for someone else? Her eyes filled with astonishment. Nonsense. At that moment, a voice sounded behind me. Indeed, nonsense. The moment I turned, I found myself falling into Ethan's embrace. Who said no one loves you? I, and your family, all love you. Being gazed upon with such tenderness was like a block of ice falling into a warm pool, sending ripples through me. Luna looked at Ethan, a momentary sparkle in her eyes. Who is this? Your new boyfriend? What does that have to do with you? You found someone new so quickly? Perhaps you were already secretly seeing other men during your relationship with Henry? I was about to speak, but Ethan spoke for me. You seem to know a lot about that. Do you do it often? You. Her face darkened. I looked at her slightly bulging abdomen with feigned concern. What are you doing at the hospital today? She gave me a triumphant glance. I'm carrying Henry's child. Oh? I felt no shock. The moment I separated from Henry, I decided not to torment my heart over anything related to him again. Didn't you have cancer? If I recall correctly, it was late stage. A fleeting panic crossed her face. So what? No one can deprive me of my right to be a mother. As she spoke, she walked towards me with a sneer, casually glancing at Ethan's face. What good is finding a handsome boyfriend? Poverty brings endless sorrow to a couple. She covered her mouth and chuckled softly. Some people are just not destined to be rich wives. How pitiful. With that, she entered the hospital. She didn't recognize you. My eyes curved into a smile as I looked at Ethan. Ethan shrugged. Perhaps my fame isn't widespread enough yet. It seems I need to do some more promoting. I laughed. That's fine. He took my hand and slowly leaned close to my ear. Actually, I heard everything you two were just saying. When did you learn to eavesdrop? I know a lot more things. I'll show you later. Ethan and my wedding was set for October, at the temperate border of the South. During this time, both families were frantically busy with our arrangements. Many wedding invitations were sent out, and some eagerly submitted RSVP cards, wanting to attend Ethan and my wedding. Among them was the Hayes estate, represented by Henry. After all, this was an opportunity to get close to a top-tier wealthy family, and no one wanted to miss it. Ethan grandly waved his hand, agreeing to his request, and I didn't stop him. On the wedding day, wealthy families gathered. Glasses clinked and conversation buzzed, creating a lively atmosphere. Henry, holding Luna's hand, sat in the crowd, a barely contained tension about him. The MC's voice rang out, announcing the entrance of the newlyweds. As the music began, the large doors leading to the ceremony slowly opened, and everyone's gaze converged on us. At that moment, he was dressed in a suit, and I was in a white wedding dress, walking in hand. A thunderous applause immediately erupted around us. The newlyweds are truly a perfect match, blessed by heaven. Accompanied by the guests' praises, he and I walked onto the stage. Under the lights, two ashen faces were illuminated. I clearly saw Henry and Luna's expressions freeze. They stood rooted to the spot in astonishment, their hands paused mid-applause. Thank you all for attending Olivia and my wedding. First, I want to thank both sets of parents for raising us to adulthood. I want to say to you, Mom and Dad, you've worked hard. As he spoke, he picked up the glass already prepared by the etiquette staff and offered a toast to both sets of parents. After drinking one glass, he picked up another, raising it to the sky. Then, in front of everyone, he poured it onto the ground. The crowd was puzzled by this gesture, quite surprised. But my eyes welled up with tears. I knew he was honoring the adoptive mother who had taken me in and raised me. I saw Henry's stunned face. At that moment, he was like a startled hedgehog, his nails digging deeply into his palms, yet he seemed oblivious to the pain. You might not understand this gesture, so allow me to explain. He spoke calmly. Miss and I had a childhood engagement. However, Miss went missing at the age of 5 and remained lost until, fortunately, her adoptive mother took her in and raised her to adulthood. He looked at me with deep affection. It was because of this that we were able to find Mississippi. Unfortunately, Mrs. adoptive mother didn't live to see our wedding. But I will forever remember her kindness to us. This glass is my heartfelt gratitude to my mother. Once he finished speaking, applause erupted once more. I can't believe Olivia is the long-lost daughter of the Jiang family. What a blessing that she was found. Miss looks so familiar. Oh, I remember now, isn't she the woman who was dating Henry? Yes, that's her. The whole thing about her not being the bride caused quite a stir. It seems she really broke up with Henry. Oh, Henry really had a rich woman on his arm and didn't even know it. He completely ruined his bright future. If he had married Miss, his assets would have multiplied many times over, at the very least. Henry was utterly dumbfounded, his hand, which had been holding Luna's, having come loose without him realizing. His eyes, fixed on me, were completely red, filled with regret and remorse. However, Ethan had no intention of letting him off the hook. At the same time, I also want to thank 2 other people, because of whom Miss and I are here today. I turned to Ethan in surprise, and he, too, cast a gentle yet resolute gaze at me. His warm hand patted the back of mine. The most tender and moving words in the world drifted into my ear. I know you don't want to be the bad guy. Today, I'll be the bad guy. In that instant, all the lights, as if rehearsed, converged on Henry and Luna's faces. They raised their hands to shield themselves from the lights, but they couldn't block the gazes of the crowd. Thank you, Mr. Henry, for abandoning Olivia, who was with you from nothing to immense wealth, all for your idealized first love. I heard it was because Ms. Luna was diagnosed with cancer and didn't have much time left, so you gave her the wedding that should have been Olivia's. As I spoke, my eyes immediately turned cold. My voice, imbued with a commanding presence, was like an interrogation of a criminal. Is that right or not? Everyone waited for their answer. Henry was forced to respond, yes. The internet was ablaze with this scandal, and Olivia became a target of ridicule. Didn't you claim to love her? Why didn't you explain? He suddenly looked up, his deep, loving eyes filled with remorse. I'm sorry, I never thought this would affect you so deeply. It's my fault. I should have explained sooner. He violently slapped himself a few times. Luna instinctively tried to stop him, but he mercilessly shoved her a few feet away. Her radiant eyes welled up with sorrow, and her flower-like face turned utterly pale. Well, thank you very much then. Without this earth-shattering stunt of yours, Olivia wouldn't have become utterly disheartened and chosen to return home. I looked at the crowd. Tell me, who would willingly give up their own wedding to someone usurping what's not theirs and trying to take all the credit? And who would want to see their partner walk down the aisle with the person who stole their marriage? The eyes of the people below were filled with anger, and they all shook their heads. Henry, you've done a wonderful job. And, Luna, you've done exceptionally well too. I also want to thank you for using a fake illness to make Olivia realize how unreliable Henry truly is. No, I didn't, she shrieked, her voice hoarse. I didn't have a fake illness. It was all a misdiagnosis from the hospital. Henry also stepped forward to defend her. She didn't lie to me, she told me everything. It was a misdiagnosis from the hospital. A misdiagnosis, you say? What a coincidence, I have proof. I took out a black button and lightly pressed it. Instantly, the large screen displayed the scene outside the hospital entrance, the very hospital where he and I had our checkups. Luna panicked, utterly panicked. She desperately lunged forward, trying to stop it, but the security guards pulled her away. No, please, don't play it. I'll give you anything you want. Just leave me a shred of dignity, please. Dignity? I countered. When you used the pretense of illness to ruin Olivia's wedding, did you ever think to leave her a shred of dignity? As I spoke, the large screen began playing. Luna's face and all her words were now public for everyone to see and hear. Immediately, a wave of stunned gasps erupted from the crowd. I can't believe such an innocent-looking face could do something so malicious. So she never actually liked Henry, she just saw he was rich and wanted to take all the credit. And she even tried to crush and drive Miss to her death. What a wicked mind. Is blind? How could he fall for a woman like that? She's showing. Judging by the timing, they must have been together for a while. So betrayed Mrs. Trust long ago. Luna broke down in tears. No, this isn't true. It really was a misdiagnosis. I was just lying to them. She was still hoping Henry would believe her, but he pushed her forcefully to the ground. The evidence is right in front of us. What more do you have to say? Henry demanded. Or perhaps you'd like to claim that the esteemed Mr. Ethan would wrongly accuse a woman like you for no reason? Henry, belie. Be me. I'm pregnant with your child, and my stomach hurts so much. Henry ignored her and walked towards me. He heavily knelt on the ground and bowed his head. Olivia, I'm so sorry. Please, forgive me this one time? Henry, we've long gone our separate ways, I said. Are you saying all this now to break up my husband and me? Under his astonished yet blissful gaze, I leaned my head on his shoulder. Get lost. Don't disturb our happiness. He broke down in tears, slapping his own face, repeatedly begging me for forgiveness. Finally, the security guards threw them both out the door. They were a truly sorry sight. Someone with a keen eye posted it online, with most of the comments cheering it on. I watched the news reports, laughing mockingly. I wonder how it feels for you to be the ridiculed clown this time, but never mind how it feels. I don't want his presence to disrupt my thoughts even for a second. I should focus on Ethan coming home soon and discuss where to go for dinner tonight. My mother's necklace was repaired. Ethan treasured it like a precious jewel. He specially bought a separate safe and had me keep it inside. Not long after, Luna had a miscarriage, and the baby was not saved. After kicked her out of the house, she was never heard from again. Henry's company, moreover, faced a severe public relations crisis. Ultimately, it couldn't withstand the pressure and went bankrupt. As for him, he went mad, and was admitted to a psychiatric hospital. People say he often murmurs one name, Olivia. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your perspectives, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.